Hello, hello, hello. What's up, everybody? Happy Sunday. As always, I hope that this live or this replay finds you well and in excellent spirits. If you're new here, my name is Mel. I'm the founder of Divine Feminine Works, where I help people unlock their divinity and discover their magic. All right. So welcome to another edition of the weekly Astro Forecast. This week's episode is about August 1st through August 7th. All right. So if you're interested in things like tarot, astrology, manifestation, spirituality, and you haven't subscribed already, definitely hit that subscribe button. That's what this channel is all about. Loads of excellent content. And if you're looking for even more content, head over to Instagram and hit that follow button. I've got loads of excellent daily content. Plus, I go live over there every Thursday night at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time for live tarot readings by sign. All right. So head over there, hit that follow button. All right, let's let the good people over on Twitter know that we are live so they can join us. All right, so as I was preparing for this week's weekly Astro Forecast, I realized that it's a lot of heavy energy. I think many of us have been feeling this since I've been feeling it's like the lead up to this energy. I've been feeling for like a week and a half, but I feel like a lot of people this past week has been a bit tumultuous. You've been feeling some heavy energy, and yeah, we are definitely going through it. Very interesting way to start off the new month. And speaking of the new month, if you want to know everything that August has in store, astrologically speaking, don't forget to check out the August monthly Astro Forecast, and I'll put the link for that in the description box below. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give a brief overview. I'm going to mention everything that's going on through the week, and then we're going to circle back around and talk about things a little more granularly, okay? And I feel like, I don't know, today might be a little longer because I feel like I have a lot to say, particularly with respect to what's going on right now, okay? I feel like a lot of us are feeling it. Many of us don't exactly know what it means or what's going on, but suffice it to say that the astrology right now is very it's heavy. It is, full of twists and turns, unexpected events, unexpected news, surprises. But whatever's happening right now is definitely pivotal for many of us, is definitely very important. This time period in particular, excuse me, is very, it's like an exclamation point, okay? A lot of us are being reminded of certain things. A lot of us are learning new things about ourselves. But either way, I feel like after the astrology of today, tomorrow, and into Tuesday, I feel like many of us are going to have a very different perspective on life, on our purpose, and all that good stuff. All right. So before we get into the nitty gritty, you know the deal. If you're new to astrology or if you started studying astrology and need a refresher, I created this thing called the Astrology Basics Cheat Sheet, which gives you the quick and dirty on everything you need to know regarding the planets, the houses, the signs, and the aspects. These are the 4 basic pillars of astrology that'll help you not only get started in studying astrology, but it'll also help you to learn to read your natal chart, which is the blueprint to your life. All right. So if you're looking for a refresher, if you want to download this cheat sheet, the link is in the description box below. All you'll need to do is provide your email address and you are Gucci. All right. So if you're looking to take advantage of that, definitely jump on that right now. Hello, Patricia Jean. How are you? Happy Sunday. Thank you for joining. All right. So let's get into the highlights and see what we have. All right. So we have what I like to call a battle of wills, and I'm about to really go in on this topic in a second. All right. And this is sort of that heaviness and that sort of surprising undercurrent of electricity that we've been feeling since last week, and definitely probably today into Tuesday. Then we have something interesting going on this week. So amidst all of this chaos, we have the opportunity for some sexy moments. All right. So bringing sexy back is another theme of the week. Then later on in the week, we are all going to be a little more detail oriented and a lot more perfectionist. Okay, so attention to detail is something that's going to come into our purview later on in the week. And then finally, with the moon phases this week, it's all about taking action. So we're fresh off the heels of the new moon in Leo, which was the other day. The energy is still live. So if you're looking to see what that new moon was all about, check out my video on the new moon in Leo. I'll also link that in the description box as well. But yeah, with the moon in the waxing phase, this is going to be a week of taking action. All right. Now, regardless of whatever the other astrology going on that may sort of hinder that action, it's still one of those weeks where we're taking action and we're being a bit proactive with the respect to the things that we want to manifest. All right. So let's get into the nitty gritty. So on Monday, we've got Venus sextile the North Node, Mars conjunct the North Node, and Mars conjunct Uranus. On Tuesday, we've got Venus sextile Uranus and Mars, and the moon is going to be moving into Libra. On Thursday, we have Mercury moving into Virgo and the moon moving into Scorpio. Thereafter, on Saturday, we have the moon making her way into the sign of Sagittarius. And we close out the week on Sunday with Venus trine Neptune and Mars square Saturn. All right. So a lot going on this week, particularly in the beginning of the week. So let's just get straight into it because there is a lot I feel like I have to say. All right. So beginning today, right, there is this conjunction in the sign of Taurus, which is attributing to this heaviness that we've all been feeling. I find that some people have been feeling a bit anxious, but okay. Other people have been feeling it's like the weight of the world is on their shoulders. Other people have been feeling sort of lost in the sauce and not knowing which end is up. And other people have just felt like they want to move forward, but it's like they're trudging through mud. It's like whatever they're trying to do, it's things are taking longer. They're finding that they can't just get up and go like they want to. And this is all due in part to this conjunction in Taurus, which consists of Uranus, Mars, and the North Node. Okay. And this is what I like to call the battle of wills. To put it bluntly, and if I had to sort of paraphrase it into one sentence, it would be your will versus the will of God. Okay. And I know that sounds super dramatic, but that's actually what it really is. So Uranus is the planet of surprise. It's the planet of unexpected things, right? It's the planet of anxiety. It's the planet of, electricity. Electricity is covered by Uranus, but it's also known as like the hand of God. Uranus is a representation, at least the planetary energy of Uranus is a representation of the universe, of God, of the cosmos. And we all know that as much as we try to control our lives to every sort of little detail, God ultimately has a hand in what happens to us, through us, with us, right? What is that phrase? It's like we make plans and then God laughs. And I don't necessarily think that's the reality of the situation. In my opinion, we work with God. Right? Because we have God within us. Okay. And so we work with God. It's not the case that it's necessarily that God just decides things for us and we just have to go along for the ride. Right. And even if that were true, I think that whatever God predestines for us is in alignment with what we actually want. But that's another story for another video. But in any event, Uranus being sort of the focal point of this conjunction is is basically the reason why a lot of people are feeling nervous and anxious or excited, or things are popping up unexpectedly, or, shifts are really happening, right? So we have Uranus on the one side, right? On the other side, we have Mars. Mars is a planet of war. It's a planet of conflict, but it also represents like us as far as humanity is concerned, as far as being an individual human, because Mars is very self-centered, right? Mars is all about us. And Mars also represents our ambitions, our drive, our passions, things that we're very passionate about that we want to achieve is covered by Mars. And Mars is also a planet of action. Mars is all about taking action, and not only taking action, but a lot of times taking defensive action. If we're really passionate about something, the Mars energy is all about defending that passion, really, and fighting people for it or in the name of it. So we have us on the one hand and the universe God on the other. And when you put those two together, plus a whole bunch of surprises, right? There's this, it makes things a bit wonky, because on the one hand, we're definitely trying to move forward based on what we perceive to be the best strategy for us or the best way, right? Whereas the universe is like, okay, but nah, I got to move things around. God can move mountains. we can move mountains. That always keep that in mind and never forget that. But also understand that in moving mountains, other things usually have to shift. And sometimes I think that we forget that. So let me explain this a different way. So it's almost like, when you really want something, you're really trying to manifest it. And in your mind, you visualize exactly how it's going to go or how you perceive that it's going to go. Even if you're not necessarily concerned about the how, whenever you think about a manifestation, right, there's this automatic vision that pops up. Whatever seems natural to you, whatever sort of makes sense to you is sort of how you see things playing out. And a lot of times that's not the case, right? And I feel like this conjunction is showing us that when it comes to the things that we desire, the method and the how that these things come about is really up to God. And I feel like this conjunction is reminding us of that. And so what ends up happening is you want something really badly, right? And you're manifesting it, you're doing all the work to get it and whatever. And then something goes left, right? You expected something to happen and then the complete opposite happens and you start questioning yourself. Not only do you start questioning yourself, you start questioning the whole process, right? You're like, well, maybe this isn't meant for me, right? How many times have we said that to ourselves? I know I've said that plenty of times when I've wanted to manifest something and some fuck shit happened. And I'm like, well, maybe this is God's way of saying, no, this isn't for me. And you're just ready to throw in the towel. And that's so not the case usually, right? You end up learning that as time goes on, but when you're in it, you're like, no, this isn't for me. This isn't working out, so it's not for me, right? But a lot of times the universe is like, okay, you told me that you want this, right? Cool, I'm on board. Let's get it. But because I have to move mountains, different things have to shift. Just because you expected something to go right and it goes left doesn't mean that now the whole thing is messed up, that the whole thing's not going to happen anymore, right? We're so quick to throw in the towel when all we have to do is ride the wave. Ride the wave because it's still going to get us to where we want to go. Ultimately, what we're passionate about, what we want to have, what we want to do, that is assured. Right? But it's just because the way that we're getting there is different than what we thought in our minds. We're so ready to give up. And I feel like this conjunction, that is the essence of this conjunction. And you've probably been feeling it all week. You're definitely going to be feeling it into this coming week. And so it's really about how bad do you want what you want? How much do you believe in yourself and your ability to create? Or are you just thinking that, or just going along with the idea that there's this predestined or predetermined path and you have absolutely no say in it? That's why I call this the battle of wills, because I feel like, it is our will against the will of God. But even though it's a battle, ultimately we both win, right? Because we work with God. We are co-creators with God. So ultimately we both win. Just because it's not looking or feeling like you want to in this moment doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. Doesn't mean that it's not meant for you. Doesn't mean that God wants you to have something else, right? Now, don't get me wrong. At times that can be the case. That can be the case sometimes. That's a possibility. But don't just think because one thing or one season isn't going the way that you want it to, that your manifestation is dead in the water, right? So it's really about your will to move forward. Okay. And moving forward is not going to feel easy at this time because Mars is in Taurus. When Mars is in Taurus, it's like a bull stuck in the mud, right? It's almost like if you have your car in park, but you still put your foot on the gas, like you floored on the gas, but your car is in park and it just revs up the engine, but it's going nowhere. That's sort of the undercurrent of the energy that's represented by Mars in Taurus. And that's another reason why many of us may feel like this isn't for us. We shouldn't be doing this. There's something better, because the going is tough. The going is tough right now. We're feeling it. We're like that bull stuck in the mud, just trying to move forward. But each step is feeling difficult. It's feeling tough. It's feeling arduous, right? But again, this begs the question, how bad do you want what you want? How committed are you to this manifestation? How committed are you to this goal, to this desire? Because the universe is like, I got you. I'm with you. But you got to be flexible. And that's another thing that this conjunction is showing us, that you have to be flexible. Okay. And that's very difficult, again, given Mars being in Taurus. Mars in Taurus is like staying put, being stuck, actually. And the universe is like, I'm shifting things around. If you're stuck, if you're rigid, you might break, right? You might break, but you're not going to. You just have to be a little more flexible, a little more easygoing, a little more going with the flow, right? Because again, you have to remember that the end is assured, right? And that is the essence of the North Node sandwiched in this conjunction. Because again, it's Mars, it's Uranus, and it's the North Node. So the North Node is all about our destiny. It's all about where we want to go. Our destiny isn't, in my opinion, okay? Our destiny isn't some predetermined thing that we have no control or say in. Our destiny is what we truly want, because what we truly want is aligned with God, is aligned with our higher selves, right? So that is assured. The presence of the North Node lets us know that, yeah, whatever's happening right now, no matter how hard it feels, no matter how bad it looks, it is ultimately bringing us to where we need to go. We just need to remain a little flexible and not give up. That's the essence of this conjunction. All right. So I know it feels hard. I know it feels frustrating. I know you're like, I don't know, especially if you're going through something that you've been through before, right? Mars is the planet of fighting, right? And I know there are some people out there who are going to be like, but you know what, Mel? I don't have a fight left in me. I'm tired. I'm frustrated. I feel like I've been fighting all my life, right? And I get that. And I've been there. But you have to keep going. It's like that. It may be just that last push. It really may be just that last little bit that you need to get you over the hump and to get you to where you need to go, right? And so Mars and Taurus is like finding the strength somehow to keep going. If you're into tarot and you're familiar with the meanings of the card, Mars and Taurus very much gives me 9 of Wands energy. Being bruised, being battered, you know, it's the soldier who's been through the war and is mustering up the strength to continue on to the 10 of Wands, right? That's exactly what this Mars and Taurus energy is giving right now. So I say all of that to say, hold fast to what it is that you want. Now is the time to be persistent. Now is the time to not give up. Now is the time to muster that last little bit of strength, right? To keep fighting. And when I say keep fighting, I don't mean keep fighting in the sense that you're taking action, you're actively doing something, right? No, what I mean is keep fighting, keep holding that manifestation, keep holding that intention, that goal, and that desire in your mind and not letting go of it, regardless of what's being thrown at you, right? Because the universe, again, is like, yo, I know that you want this, so I got you. But if you give up, the universe is like, all right, well, I guess we're not doing that anymore, and move on to something else, right? So hold fast to your manifestation, to your desire, to your goal, and just keep going. All right. Because the end is assured. The universe is working with you to shift things as they need to be shifted in order to bring you what it is that you want. So just stay persistent. All right. So that is the battle of wills that we are fighting this week. All right. So that brings me into Monday, right? So not only do we have Mars conjunct the North Node and Mars conjunct Uranus, but we also have Venus Venus sextile the North Node. So what's good about this, and this sort of is a great segue into that second highlight, which is called bringing sexy back, is that amidst this chaos, amidst things sort of feeling heavy, feeling frustrating, we have Venus giving us the opportunity for some for feeling good, giving us the opportunity for positive things to come through. But keep in mind that it is a sextile, and sextiles are all about opportunity plus effort, right? So the perfect way I can explain this is that, let's say you're really going through it, okay? You're having a very rough week. You know, you're trying to do whatever it is that you're trying to do, and you feel like you're met with resistance or surprising things keep coming up and you just can't really get it together. And then someone's like, hey, let's go out on a date, or let's go out to eat or whatever. And you're just like, yeah, no, like, I don't want to, I don't feel up to it or whatever. That friend asking you out on a date or asking you out to dinner, that's Venus sextile the North Node, right? Not only is it giving you a little reprieve from this heavy energy, but it might give you the opportunity to get you to where you need to go. Because if Venus is sextile the North Node, this is about encounters that are fated. This is about things, people, and places that are meant to help get you to where you need to go in a good way, because Venus is a positive planet. Right? So if you find that you're getting opportunities to do something fun, something social, particularly Monday or Tuesday, I would suggest that you take that opportunity. I would suggest that you take advantage of that opportunity, because it really could be leading you somewhere where you need to go. Right? A lot of times when we're going through things, it's like anything else that comes our way, we sort of deal with it with frustration. You'd probably be like, oh, I'm going through so much and this person wants to go party, or this person wants to go do something. Like, don't they know that I'm like busy and shit? Like, but how do you not know that something that you want, that person can help you with? Or they may bring you someplace where you bump into someone else who's your soulmate, or someone who's meant to help you, like a mentor. You don't know. That's the thing with Uranus, right? And again, Uranus is in the mix in this conjunction. Anything can happen. And I feel like Venus sextile the North Node is like anything can happen in a good way. All right. So if you have the opportunity to have a little bit of fun, to socialize, to talk business even with someone, right? Because Venus also rules money. So talk business to someone, do something a little out of the ordinary when it comes to who you talk to, when it comes to who you socialize with. I feel like that's sort of the universe's way of not only putting you on the right track, but again, giving you a reprieve from some of this energy, this heavy energy that we've been feeling. All right. So we've pretty much talked about this conjunction ad nauseum, right? So where are we? Oh, I was all on my soapbox and I completely forgot to show you the chart. All right, so this is the chart for Monday. As you can see, there is this huge cluster of planets, and we've got the North Node, we've got Mars, and we've got Uranus all at 18 degrees Taurus. All right, and then we've got Venus, which is sextile to the North Node. Well, Venus is basically sextile to all of them, right? Because Venus is at 17 degrees. Okay, so now let's take a look at Tuesday. So on Tuesday, of course, we still have all three planets. Well, the North Node is not a planet, but we still have all three bodies. Well, actually, the North Node is not a body. Like, short astrology lesson. The North and South Node, they're not a physical entity. They're just points in the sky. They don't represent any planet, any asteroid. They're literally just points in the sky. But that whole cluster is at 18 degrees Taurus. We've got Venus at 18 degrees Cancer, which is an exact sextile to those planets. And then we have the moon moving into Libra. Okay. So it's basically a continuation of Monday, essentially. Venus is adding a little sweetness to the shit, okay? I don't think that a lot of us are going through shit per se. I just think that things may feel, again, like we're trudging through the mud, or we're being hit with surprises. I know, some people who have been hit with surprising news, right? And stuff like that. So I feel like not everyone's feeling the brunt of it, but regardless of however this conjunction is playing out for you, I feel like Venus is adding some sweetness to the pot and is making things a little better. And on Tuesday, with the moon moving into Libra, this is definitely going to have you feeling like being social, because Libra is all about socializing, right? Libra is definitely going to be feeling or having you feel the need for partnership, for companionship. So and I'm not even talking about in a romantic sense. I feel like for many, you're just going to feel the need to want to talk to someone or chill out, and that's exactly what you should do if you have the opportunity to do so, right? Because again, this energy is a bit much. But the one thing I can say, and I sort of alluded to this in my introduction, is that whatever transpires now, when this energy has left, it provides so much. It provides so much opportunity for personal growth, okay? But it all depends on how you use it. Right? Because if you, again, if you have a goal, a desire, a manifestation that you're trying to bring to fruition, I'm sorry, I'm very tongue-tied today. You have a goal, manifestation, desire that you're trying to bring to fruition, and you're able to weather the storm, right? Imagine how much confidence that gives you, number one, determination, perseverance, and even more motivation, right? It's like I was able to get over this hurdle. I was able to sort of master this. So I'm on track, right? Like I'm not giving this up. Like I still want to do this. I still want to have this. I still want to pursue this. And I know that the best sailors are made during storms. And so now you are smooth sailing after this, right? So again, if you're able to glean this sort of lesson from this time period with this conjunction, I feel like you're going to be Gucci when it comes to moving forward with this manifestation, okay? And again, on Tuesday, if you have the opportunity to socialize, if you have the opportunity to hang out, even if it's not hanging out, even just having a conversation with a friend, something lighthearted, then do that, right? Because I feel like it's definitely meant to provide some relief to some of this energy. Okay. So that's Tuesday. So now we move into Thursday. So on Thursday, we have Mercury moving into Virgo and we have the moon moving into Scorpio. All right. So Mercury in Virgo, Mercury is very comfortable in Virgo because Virgo is one of its home signs, right? And this is what I was mentioning in my highlight section when I was talking about, what did I call it? I forgot. Oh, attention to detail, right? Mercury in Virgo is all about analyzing. It's all about compartmentalizing. It's about rationalizing our everyday lives. Okay. And I feel like particularly on Thursday, as soon as Mercury moves into Virgo, I feel like some of the first things that we're going to be analyzing are going to be our emotions because the moon is going to be moving into the sign of Scorpio. So the moon in Scorpio is all about our deeply seated emotions, repressed emotions, things that we feel at the deepest level of ourselves and of our souls. And with the moon in Scorpio, those things are likely going to come up to the surface. So if you've been having a particularly trying week, I feel like Thursday is going to be the type of day where you can sort of sit back and analyze everything that's come up and make sense of it in your mind, right? Because that's exactly how Mercury in Virgo operates. So more so than just feeling these emotions, I think we're going to be thinking about them in a very practical and rational sort of way. Okay. Now, one of the things that I love about Moon in Scorpio is that it's great for purging and it's great for shadow work, regardless of the season that we're in, meaning that even though we are still in Leo season, anytime the moon goes into Scorpio, it's all about purging and shadow work. And so with such an analytical mind, right, once Mercury moves into Virgo, I feel like we'll really be able to have some sort of an effective process when it comes to shadow work. So it's not going to be, like I said before, just feeling these things, because depending on where other planets are situated when the moon happens to be in Scorpio, we may have a situation where, you're purging, but you're so lost in these emotions. You're so lost in feeling these emotions that purging becomes kind of difficult. But I feel like with Mercury in Virgo at the same time as the moon in Scorpio, this is going to allow us to purge kind of intelligently, if that makes any sense. So, for instance, let's say that you have had abandonment issues in the past. And the moon in Scorpio sort of triggers that, right? Maybe someone is reflecting these abandonment issues back to you and you feel emotionally triggered. I feel like with Mercury in Virgo, you're going to be like, okay, why am I feeling triggered? What does this have to do with? How can I fix this in a way? What can I do in a rational, practical sort of way so that I don't go through this anymore, or I finally eradicate this abandonment issue, right? It's taking an intelligent look at our emotions, okay? And it allows us to get rid of things that don't serve us, right? That's the whole energy of Moon and Scorpio, is like purging, right? And so, Virgo is a very clean sign. They tend to be neat freaks. They love things like the Container Store. They love to compartmentalize things, put things in nice little boxes, make everything presentable and perfect. And so this is great for purging because you can sort of be in this energy of, okay, I don't need this. It doesn't serve me. What do I need this for? How can I fine tune it? Right? So I feel like whatever purging we're going through, particularly on Thursday, it's going to be very efficient. And I feel like once we're done with this energy, I feel like we'll be in a much better place emotionally. Okay. So all in all, I think that's a pretty good thing. And that energy is relevant this week in particular because we're still in the waxing phase of the moon. Like I said, we're right off the heels of the new moon in Leo. So this week, the moon goes from the waxing crescent phase to the waxing gibbous phase. And all that means is that the moon is building up in illumination, and sort of so are we. When it comes to the things that we want to manifest, when it comes to the goals and desires that we want to achieve, now is the time to actively work on them, right? Do things in order to make that happen. And I say do things in air quotes because doing things doesn't always necessarily mean physically doing something or taking some type of action. Sometimes doing things equates to having a certain mindset. It means feeling a certain way or getting rid of certain feelings that don't necessarily align with what we're trying to manifest. And that's exactly what I feel like Thursday is going to feel like and sort of be like, right? As we work our way to the full moon, as we work our way towards the things that we want, sometimes we have to purge, right? If the boat is too heavy, you got to unload so that it can move forward. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing in an emotional sense on Thursday with, I keep wanting to say Venus, with Mercury moving into Virgo and the moon in Scorpio. All right. So next up, we've got Saturday. All right. So on Saturday, all we have is the moon moving into Sagittarius. Okay. So the moon in Sagittarius is very optimistic. It's upbeat. And I feel like it's a chance for us to feel good after sort of the hell that we've been through, or even if it's not hell, just all of the stuff that we've been through between last week and this week. I like this moon in Sagittarius energy because it's going to get us to not only feel good, but see the bigger picture and perhaps understand on a broader level why we went through, why we were triggered in the way that we were, why we experienced certain things. Okay. I feel like it's a great time to sort of make sense of everything from a broader perspective. Okay. This is when the moon is in Sagittarius, we're often motivated by a desire to seek the truth. Okay. Not in the way that Scorpio does it. Scorpio likes to get to the bottom of things in a very investigative sort of way. Sagittarius likes to know the truth on a broader scale. Like, I guess one of the phrases that you could equate to like the moon in Sagittarius would be like, everything happens for a reason. You know, something happens and someone says to you, everything happens for a reason, right? That sort of broad truth. Or even something like the golden rule, okay, which is something that is a truth on a broader scale, right? That's definitely characteristic of sort of how the moon in Sagittarius feels, okay? And I feel like the moon in Sagittarius is going to give us the opportunity to have a little bit of fun, okay? Because Sagittarius loves going on adventures, experiencing new things, being spontaneous and just like winging it, okay? So I feel like Saturday is going to be a great day to sort of be carefree. It's going to be a great day to try something new, broaden your horizons, go on a different adventure. That's also a great way to dispel a lot of the heaviness that we've been feeling, okay? Like, it's always great for an environment change or an energy shift. And I feel like the moon in Sagittarius is just that energy shift that we need at this time when we've just been rocked to the core, some of us, by the universe, stuck in the mud for others of us. Like, it's a great day to sort of just be carefree, do some like dope shit, experience new things, broaden your horizons, and just wing it, right? Now, Mercury in Virgo is going to be a little bit of a Debbie Downer. in a sense, because Mercury in Virgo does not like to wing anything. Okay. Mercury in Virgo likes to make plans. Have you ever been on a group trip and there's always that one friend who's like, I planned our whole itinerary for the whole trip and we're going to wake up at 6 a.m. and go see the sunrise. And it's like they take the fun out of something that's supposed to be fun and spontaneous on a vacation. I know you know what I'm talking about. Thankfully, I wasn't that friend. I wasn't. I was drunk by the pool all day. But everyone knows that person, right? That is the essence of Mercury in Virgo. They like to plan. So you may feel like, okay, no, I got to stick to the script. I have to do this, do that. I'm not saying to just like forget all your responsibilities. I mean, unless you want to, that's on you. But allow yourself to be a little spontaneous over the weekend. I feel like you deserve it. You've probably been through either hell and back, or it's just been a rough week. And even if you haven't, even if you've been smooth sailing all week, you deserve it too. Okay. We all deserve to have just a nice, chill, relaxed time. Okay. And that's a great segue into Sunday. All right. So let's take a look at Sunday. So on Sunday, we have one of my favorite transits, which is Mercury trine Neptune. But then we also have Mars square Saturn. All right. So a little bit of a Debbie Downer, but I'll explain. So Venus trine Neptune is the ultimate relaxation transit. Okay, this is that transit for a perfect lazy Sunday. Even if it's not a lazy Sunday, it's a great day to like hang out with friends, like watch movies, like especially because it's going down on a Sunday. This reminds me of some of those Sundays where I'm like, oh, let me just put on the Lifetime channel real quick. And then 8 hours later, I'm still on the couch in my pajamas talking about, oh my gosh, that was a crazy movie, right? That is the essence of Venus trine Neptune. All right. So I feel like on Saturday with the moon in Sagittarius, it's all about being spontaneous, being fun, dispelling some of that heavy energy we've been feeling for the last week or so. And then Sunday is like just chill, have fun, be with friends. Venus trine Neptune is also great for creativity, right? So especially if you are in the creative fields like music, like art, anything that involves your creative abilities, Sunday's a great day to sort of tap into that spiritual, ethereal energy where creativity thrives. Okay. So Sunday is going to be a day where you want to chill, and whatever you're good at creatively, it'll sort of come to you naturally. I don't want you to sit again. Mercury in Virgo is like, oh, you're telling me that Venus trine Neptune on Sunday is great for creativity? Let me plan a studio session. Let me plan to paint, and I'm going to paint this and do it like this. Mercury in Virgo is going to want to have you obsess over every little detail, but that's so anti what this transit is. All right. So try not to get too lost in the details or too rigid in your structure. Like, don't structure fun. Let me just say that. This is going to be one of those weekends where you do not, under any circumstances, want to structure fun. Just wing it. Just have fun. Relax. If you feel inspired on Sunday to create, as in write a song, paint a painting, work on something creative, then do so. But if you don't, like, take a nap all day. Don't beat yourself up over it. Don't feel bad about it. Just allow yourself to relax. Okay. Now, Venus trine Neptune is also about romance. Okay. It's very much about daydreaming. It's very much about like Lifetime movie romance. Okay. It's very idyllic and rose-colored glasses kind of romance. Okay. So, and it makes us feel very compassionate, very tender, very affectionate, very lovey-dovey kind of energy. So if you are booed up, Sunday's going to be one of those days where you want to, maybe catch brunch and then chill, or just breakfast in bed kind of thing. Whatever is warm, fuzzy, and cozy for you guys, you should do it on Sunday, because it's the astrology is going to support it, and you're going to feel like doing it anyway. Okay. This transit also lends itself to spirituality, okay? Because Neptune is a very spiritual planet. It represents the ethers, it represents esotericism, like all of that great stuff. And so if you feel the need for like meditation or maybe even some ritual work, or even if you're still, let me not say still, right? Even if you are into church, even if you are, whatever your spirituality is like, I feel like many people will feel inclined to sort of tap into that on Sunday as well with Venus trine Neptune. Okay. So all in all, Venus trine Neptune is very feel goody. It's very lovey dovey, but it's also very relaxing. If you find that you just want to spend the day in bed sleeping, go for it. Venus and Neptune definitely has your back. All right. And then we have Mars square Saturn, which is sort of the Debbie Downer of Sunday. Okay. It's okay. I'll say this perfectly. And this sort of is how I would typically feel with what I'm about to say. So, you're relaxed, right? Venus trine Neptune has you really in your element, especially if you're someone who does anything creative. You're really in your creative bag. You're really doing the things. You're relaxing. You're feeling good. And you're like, okay, it's Sunday. I have this whole week ahead of me. I have got so much I want to do, so much I want to accomplish. And you still have Mercury and Virgo that's like, yo, let's do this, that, and the third. Let's plan this. And, Mercury and Virgo is still running in the background, trying to have you do the most. Not even do the most, but like really be productive and efficient, right? So it's Sunday, you're relaxing, you're feeling good. And so you're optimistic, right? And you're thinking, okay, I want to do this. You make all these plans for this coming week, right? And then Sunday night hits and you're just like, oh, it's almost like I have to go back to reality. I have so much to do this week. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make things happen. Okay. Mars square Saturn is a very frustrating transit because it's like wanting to go forward and then being blocked, or an obstacle or a detour. Okay. So again, especially since Mars is still in Taurus, it's that feeling of the car being, you trying to go forward, like you're flooring it on the gas and the car is in park. All right. So you're going nowhere fast and your engine is revving and you're getting frustrated because you're not moving. You're either not moving fast enough or you're not moving at all. Okay. And so this is sort of like you have desires, you have all these things that you want to do, but at the same time, you're also faced with limitations, challenges, obstacles, and things like that. So it's like feeling blocked. It's like feeling limited. It's like feeling like you can't get ahead. Okay. Now, because Saturn is in the mix, you may find, especially as we go into next week, that authority figures become kind of an issue. So an authority figure could be a boss, it could be a superior, but it could also be like a parent or someone who has some sort of say in your life or influence in your life. And now because we're talking about Saturn, this authority figure or, whoever most likely will be a male. Okay, so this is a male either getting in your way. This is a male either shooting you down, right? This could also be a male sort of purposefully blocking you, purposefully putting obstacles in your path so you don't get to where you need to go. Because maybe they don't think you should get there. Maybe they are jealous because you're trying to get there, So it could be, I'm not going to say it could be volatile, but it could be extremely frustrating. And with Mars in the mix, it's fights, right? So you could have an all and out brawl with a male authority figure. You could have, a heated argument with a male authority figure. That's sort of how all of that can play out. Okay. Now this is not the transit where you're going to want to start something new. Okay. This is more about maintaining what you already have, right? Because we've got Mars in Taurus. Taurus is a fixed sign. So this isn't necessarily about starting something new. I feel like the way this is sort of going to play out is on the road to getting to where you need to go. You've been on this road for a while, and all of a sudden this authority figure comes in and sort of rains on your parade or tries to block you or makes things unnecessarily difficult to deter you from getting to where you need to go or for whatever reason. But you still have to have, and this goes back to everything I was saying before, it's the battle of wills. You still need to have that determination and that perseverance to still go forward. Again, a lot of times when we are met with resistance with respect to what we're trying to manifest, we're like, oh, then it's not for me. And we're ready to give in the towel. We're ready to throw in the towel. And now is not the time to throw in the towel. Okay. If someone is getting in your way, if someone is blocking you, if someone is putting an obstacle in your path, fight for what you fucking have. Okay. And I know, again, some of you are going to be like, I don't have a fight in me. Well, do you want what you want or do you not want it? That's really what it comes down to. So you may find that you may have to be on the defensive with this person or with this situation. Even though I said it could be an authority figure that's blocking you, because we're talking about Saturn. Saturn also represents just obstacles generally. So it could be a situation that's blocking you. It could also be karma, okay? Because Saturn represents karma. So I don't want you to go into next week looking for an authority figure to fight with. For some, you may be fighting yourself. For others, it just may be a situation that's out of your control that provides a challenge or an obstacle, and you just have to find a way to get through it, you know? And a lot of times, and to be honest, I think I'm saying this message for myself because a lot of times I question what I want to achieve when things get tough, you know? When you have an old story that's running in the background and you're met with resistance, that old story comes up full force and you're just like, well, you know, maybe this isn't for me. Maybe I shouldn't do this. And you just start doubting yourself. And it's at that very moment that you should not only persist, but believe in yourself, right? Because you can have anything you want. In case anyone didn't tell you today, you are God. You have God running all within you. You have the powers that God has. I was explaining this to someone a while ago. And this was someone who's ultra Christian. And when I said, you know, you were God, they looked at me like they wanted to call me a blasphemer and like burn me at the stake. But I said, the perfect example of you being God is that we create humans. A lot of us create humans by accident, recklessly. I mean, no shade. But I say that to say we do the same thing that God did it's normal. It's natural for us. So never forget that you are God. Never forget that you have the powers that God has, that you are powerful, that you are a creator, right? It doesn't matter what's being thrown at you. That shit is irrelevant. And remember that sometimes that shit happens because mountains have to be moved, and mountains are being moved to give you what you want, to bring to fruition what you've manifested in your mind first. So if you find that you're met with resistance, if you find that you have obstacles, if you find that even people are trying to get in your way, they're really not. You know, you always have to look at things from a different vantage point. And I think I was having this conversation with my sister not long ago when I said, some of the things that I asked for in life, I had to go through hardship because that hardship turned me into the person who could handle the things that I wanted. Sometimes we want things that we are not necessarily equipped for yet. And again, the universe is like, this is what you want. All right, cool. I got you. But you're going to have to grow a little bit so that you can hold on to this, so that you can have this and hold on to it. So try to remember that when you're going through a difficult season, when you're going through a difficult situation, that things aren't just bad because they're bad, or things aren't just difficult just for the sake of being difficult, or people aren't just being difficult because they don't like you or whatever. It's to get you to where you want to go. The end is always assured, just as long as you still like believe that you can get there. Because again, whenever you say, oh, I want to manifest this, the universe is like, all right, cool, I got you. But then when shit hits the fan and you're like, well, this is not meant for me, the universe is like, okay, you're right. All right. So hopefully the right ears hear this message, and hopefully I made sense and you guys understand what I'm talking about. But like I said before, after we get through this, like, pat yourself on the back, because this is kind of a tough one. And it's going to give you that motivation. It's going to give you that confidence to keep pursuing new things, right? Because if you can weather the storm through this, you can weather the storm through anything. All right. So that concludes this week's weekly astro forecast. I sincerely hope that you were able to get at least one important, valuable piece of information from this live. All right. So if you'd like to book any of my services or purchase any of my products, those links are going to be in the description box below. So don't forget to check those out. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for tuning in. You could be anywhere right now doing anything, but the fact that you tuned into this means the world to me. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart. All right, my loves, have an excellent week, and I'll see you next time. Take care.